Walker.
All right, yeah. So Steven Crowder. Hey, so you're not familiar with Steven Crowder? Right?
Not until recently.
Okay,
no.
so when the Sam Cedar prank is the first time you saw him.
Yeah, Evan may have sent, or a buddy of mine may have sent clips to a group chat.
Okay, and what was your reaction when I saw you? What'd you compare him to?
Oh, he's like Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but like as a real... I don't know.
That's the most accurate description I've ever heard.
I mean, he even looks like him. At least he
has
doesn't...
holsters. I bet you there's an episode where Mac has holsters.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's good that he doesn't have holsters and guns on himself on
stage. He's a big guy. He creates the illusion of being like this alpha male, but he's just inside. He's a crying child.
That's one thing I noticed is that like they like tighten up down here, you know what I mean? And I feel like it made his shoulders look broader, and he does it for that reason.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not a big guy.
But yeah,
I'm just saying he works too hard at it.
He even looks like him though, a little bit. At least in the Sam Cedar thing.
We got to play that other clip though of him, the Barbecue Becky clip of him calling the cops on that street artist. But we'll watch this stand up. This isn't as bad as the clip I covered, but the clip I covered was his tight five from when he was 17, and his dad, I guess, expected him to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, his dad probably.
And he actually got a spot at the Laugh Factory once, but
yeah, his dad definitely wrote
his stand-up is really bad. But this is a little different. This is a little more politically based.
Politically based.
I don't like hipsters. Gosh. It's wrong to hate, but
By the way, he's at a Tea Party rally for Mitt Romney in 2012.
You're talking about the rich, white, upper-middle-class Americans who move into a safe area of New York, then bitch about its gentrification.
Okay. I want to point something out about his jokes. His jokes are basically straw men. So he invents something that's not real, and then he points out the contradictions that he just imagined exist. Why would a fucking person? So a white person goes into a safe neighborhood and then complain that it's being gentrified? Isn't the white? That's very confusing to me.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, I feel like.
Do you feel like there's already contradictions in what he said in his premise?
Yeah, I don't know how old this. He might be referring to like white people complaining about gentrification when they have like the idea of gentrification when it doesn't really affect them directly. You know what I mean? Like,
no, he's saying that they move into the neighborhoods and complain that neighborhood is being gentrified. But they are gentrifying it. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. I figured it was just like, you know, like how a lot of like white people want to try and feel the struggles of others. So
that's laughable, but
you know, that's what I feel like, because that's you know, like,
but that's never worse than what they do.
He's obviously just like going after libtards and shit like that.
Yeah, but we can go after libtards.
No, I know. I'm saying that's, if you're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, he could be misinterpreting it from them just talking about the idea of gentrification.
He does this a lot.
But it's still funny because they're contributing to it. So either way, it's dumb as shit.
I know, but he just made it up.
No one's confusing you for a Harlem native, Skyler, okay? When I moved to New York...
He knows somebody named Skyler.
I hate fucking stereotypical white names, because it's like
as a punchline.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean,
it's too easy.
Just Josh, like that's probably the most common white guy name.
Yeah. Nobody ever says Josh. Karen.
In New York, initially I had a friend who's like, buddy, where are you moving? Is the neighborhood diverse? Does it have enough diversity? That's key for me, man. My neighborhood, bruh, it's got to have enough diversity. Carl, you're from Sheboygan.
Steven, you're from Canada.
Oh, he's a Canuck?
Yes. He's fucking he complains about Canada and just says that he's Canadian, and nobody points out, what the fuck are you talking about? So somebody wants to lives in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, they want to move to fucking a city. So they're not a dope. Probably because they're not a moron.
Plus, Sheboygan, Wisconsin sounds like it fucking sucks.
Well, at least he knows how funny words
There's like 2
work.
Walmarts and an Oshkosh, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah, I feel like the funny names like Sheboygan and Skylar are carrying a lot of the weight of these jokes.
You were 19 when you first met a black guy.
Speaking of old-timey
He
references.
did. He was apparently cousins. So apparently every black guy knows Gary Coleman.
Okay, every black guy goes Gary
Oh,
Coleman.
man.
That's all right, but you can do that with anything. Here's the thing.
I wonder how he came upon Gary Coleman.
That's the thing. Remember when I said, like, I thought his dad wrote some of his jokes because of the thing? You ever notice that rappers are starting to wear earrings? And he says that in 2012. Rappers started wearing earrings 10 years previous when he was probably like 12 or something. I just...
Yeah, before that. I mean, like, fucking...
I figured it
You
was
said
a West
this
Coast
is
thing.
2012, right?
Yeah, I say it's
well,
a
like
West Coast
Tupac
thing.
and shit wore earrings.
Yeah.
So-
it was a West Coast thing.
Yeah, no, I'm
Dre,
not...
Cypress Hill.
I mean, at least it started out there. Yeah, I would go as far as mid-90s that started becoming a thing.
So he would have been, I'm guessing he was around 22 when this came out. So he would have been 12.
Yeah.
You think you're writing comedy? Well,
No,
it's possible he was watching Yo MTV Raps.
There's
at 12
that
and
one...
thought,
Yeah, maybe. There's that
but
one...
Still, would you
there's
think
that
that's
one-
feminine, even at the age of 12?
I remember whenever I was young, I think it was something that started mainly in the 90s, was the one ear, and there was the gay ear, like for a guy.
Yeah. But
Well, I don't
but
remember which year was the gay ear, but
in
I
high
remember
school
that
for us,
as a kid.
that ended because I remember my friend Doug was the first kid in our school that had both ears, and it looked dope, and everybody wanted it. And nobody fucking went, that seems gay.
I feel like if like...
Or if that seems feminine. He was saying it's non-threatening because somebody has earrings, and then he
Earrings
starts
on.
doing this lispy gay voice.
Yeah, it's just an accessory.
It doesn't seem like in
Think
his
of the
age
earrings
group.
as...
It just doesn't seem like the type of humor that his age group would have.
Think of the earrings as gun holsters.
I do love the United States. I have dual citizenship here. I know right now we have some threats, though. We have some people trying to do us harm. I remember, what was it, a few months after Barack Obama took office, we had the Detroit fire crotch bomber?
Again, I'd say I looked this up. He's talking. Somebody brought a bomb onto an airplane, trying to blow up the airplane, and he put the bomb in his crotch, and it went off, caught fire, and burned his balls off. Which I would not send him to Guantanamo. I feel like regular jail is good for him. You got to go through life and burn fucking. I mean, unless his penis
Yeah,
was
he's
saved,
got
I
to
don't know.
either he's
Well, they
dumb.
saved Bobbitt, so they
He's
could've
either
saved that.
dumb. They did save Bobbitt. Man, don't have a conversation with this guy if you have a chance. John Wayne Bobbitt.
Imagine having a conversation with the ball bomber.
Terrorist, okay? You hate us. Jihad! All that, right, okay.
He
But if you're
sacrificed
gonna
his genitals
blow
for
up a
Allah.
place... Detroit?
You picked Detroit again. This is a straw man, and I know this is different. This is dishonest comedy to me. It just feels dishonest comedy. I mean, I understand you suspend logic a lot of times for jokes, but like lying about facts and then commenting on that reality in an observational way, that feels dishonest. So, no, they picked the ticket to Detroit because it was cheap. I think this guy was on the kind of low end of the totem pole.
But what?
Might even been an indie.
But he was trying to get some action.
An indie terrorist. So he just wanted to blow up the plane. He didn't want to blow up Detroit.
Yeah,
I don't think that was his plan.
He just wanted to see a plane go up.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you get the memo? Yeah, we're gonna take out a Bob's Big Boy and a couple of crack houses. If we're lucky, we'll hit someone's shanty. Yeah.
I want this guy to come to
I
American
honestly
life.
think this guy was new to the whole terrorist game, and the older terrorists were just hazing him. No. It's very important, okay? You have to blow up Detroit. He's going to do it.
Dude, his mugging is so gross. I always call him a combination between Dane Cook and Barbecue Becky. That's how I describe his stand-up.
One more thing. You have to put bomb right next to Wiener. That's the only thing.
Of all the words, he was doing good with Sheboygan and Schuyler, man, but now he just lost me. Wiener's like a word that fucking children use. You could say dong, penis, cock. Those are all funny words. Dick, not really. Dick is kind of comedy neutral. But wiener, I immediately when I hear that I just stop and I go, did he say wiener?
Hey, you know, he's a shock jock.
Have you ever met an adult that said wiener?
I've probably referred to my penis as my wiener in adulthood.
Ironically?
I mean, yeah, I would
Well,
say.
yeah, I don't think he's being ironic. I think he's just saying wiener.
You don't think he's saying it as a funny way?
It's not mine. I can't keep a straight face. I can't do it. Why is it always me?
That's funny, though.
What is?
He got an applause break for a racist voice. That's...
Oh, yeah, these are Tea Partiers.
That's really funny.
It's funny because...
Oh, yeah, it's a T... Yeah, it's a
he uses the term
T-con.
special needs in this thing, and I suspect it's because... the R word.
You think...
Well, no, because...
think he would do...
Well, no,
Well,
because his audience has been called that so often that he didn't want to trigger them by saying that word.
retarded.
So he says special needs.
But he did a ringa-dinga-dingy. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's really
It's
weird.
very weird.
And I do want to see us respected in the world a little bit again. You know, it was kind of cool before Barack Obama when people hated America. It was kind of cute in their own little jealous way. I remember when George
Yeah, that
Bush
was the case.
president, I was dating a girl who's... Well, thank you for one clap. Appreciate that. Bet you miss him now. All you corpsemen. She was German.
I
And she
think
used to always come down to me. She's like,
It's a
oh,
Tea Party rally, so there's people pretending to be Marines in the audience.
America, you're so stupid because you blindly follow that evil dictator of a president.
I can't understand what he's saying.
I'm like, woman, you're German.
Okay, I think what he was saying was that a German girlfriend of his called George W. Bush a dictator. You know, Germans are particularly sensitive about that. That actually, I believe that story that he said, and I don't see hypocrisy at all there. That's actually very consistent in German culture.
I feel
you
like if-
can't be a Nazi in Germany. You'll go to jail.
I feel like if anybody would know.
Yes, exactly. Speaking from experience, that guy seems like a Hitler.
How many world wars do you have under your belt now? Oh, yeah, all
Two.
of them? Lies! They never happened. We were too busy making strudel and lederhosen.
That's it.
People, too, they love to pray.
That's the punchline. Dude, do you feel how do you feel about like joke writing ability as like a means testing for fucking comics? Like, should you have the ability to write a setup punchline joke?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen my stand-up.
No,
That's
I meant
charisma makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh
but,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's carrying the weight. No, fucking yeah, animated like high energy fucking shit pisses me off. But I feel high energy shit is a substitute for jokes.
But that is weird. He totally just did you do a tag as a punchline.
But most great modern comedians, a lot of them don't write set up punchline joke.
I mean, a lot. I would say like there's
they
a lot
could.
more like storytelling and stuff like that.
And there's usually a
around
joke
more.
inside there.
Yeah, at least one. But
Yeah.
like, no, I can agree with that.
That
I
just
can-
is a prerequisite
But
to be a
I
comic.
mean-
You should be able to do that.
I'm sure that any like high level comedian that's like known for storytelling or like crowd, not necessarily writing at the beginning of their career, like, you have to have that idea to even find jokes within a story, knowing how to do a setup punch.
Yeah.
Like
most people
the story
don't
is
write
the
jokes.
story is the setup, and there's just punches in the middle. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I just feel like what separates a comedian or a comic from everyone else is that they have the ability to invent complete out of the blue a setup and a punchline. They don't have to do more than, they can have like 5 of them or 1 of them, but they know how to do that if they want to. Anyways, most of the time they might just tell stories, but they know how to do that.
I get what you're saying.
I feel like he
agree
doesn't
with you.
know how to do that
I agree with
because
you.
I've never heard him do it.
It's European culture like Nancy Pelosi, the French. Yeah, okay. Nobody likes the French. Even the French don't like the French.
feel that's how Steven Crowder wakes up. I feel like when Steven Crowder, when he goes over to his dad's house for dinner, I think his dad just goes, I know.
Who do we have on the show this week?
Bro, it's beautiful, man. You got these guys who ride their bikes.
I told you to stay away from that boy.
Bakery and taking a baguette back
I
every
can't
day.
help it.
It's so quaint. It's beautiful.
He's dirty. He fucking tricked me.
Yeah, that's because a guy can't afford an SUV and a sandwich. Okay. Where's he?
Why did he need-
He's saying people in France ride around on bicycles and
Right.
mopeds with a baguette in their bag
Right. No,
Because they're
I'm keeping
poor.
up with it.
because they're poor.
No, it's just because it's the same. Like it's like Amsterdam, dude.
It's chill.
There's in Amsterdam, like bikes out like number cars by such an insane ratio. They like had to start doing like parking areas just for bikes because they were like filling up, and then people's bikes were getting stolen and shit like that. Like a lot of Europe just cares
Relaxed.
more about the environment
Yes,
than
and
America does.
and they also have the time.
And
Because
I'm
they
sure,
have like vacations and they have long weekends where they could just cruise around eating
And
bread and getting
healthcare.
drunk in the afternoon.
healthcare if they fall off their bike.
Best healthcare system in the world, buddy.
Here in the United States, we have a Marine who's off duty driving his
That is
You're
true.
about to hear the most pandering thing you'll ever hear in your
Okay.
life.
Yeah, Marine isn't a good start. But yeah, I feel like French are like the most like proud of being French without being like, I'm French.
Oh,
you
they
know
are
what I mean?
so French.
But like, yeah, it's like a pretentious level rather than a
Dude, in 1968, they rioted over the president of their film society being suspended.
Exactly.
They had a weeks-long riot. They had to suspend the Cannes Film Festival. that year.
They're
They were literally rioting over film. That's how pretentious they are.
His F-150 chomping down on a $5 footlong who can kick that Frenchman's dainty ass, then take over Italy for kids.
Look at that. Did you see that little move with his head? He just said the most pandering fucking bullshit. $5 footlong. Because French people can't afford a $5 footlong. It's
No,
Americans in the lush rich lifestyle of Americans. We eat $5 footlongs. But then he goes like this.
and then take
That's
over
so
Italy
dang
while
cooked,
we're
dude.
at it. No, he's got DC energy for sure.
Oh my god, that is so
For
dang
sure.
cooked. That was so dang cooked. That was so gross.
That is. Wait, what is? Did he like? Because he said an SUV first, and now he's saying a F-150. But like, why did he even? Like, why could he not just say vehicle? Like, that's what I'm confused about.
He's smart enough to know that a lot of jokes.
Yeah,
in
being
details.
specific. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, details are important.
So he's at least
knows
smart
that.
enough to, or his dad is.
Yeah.
Just to prove we can. In Canada, they always badmouth Americans too when I was raised there. It's cute. They think we care. Johnson, what's the sense? The Canadians like us today.
Again, you're from Canada.
When you think about it, the United States is kind of like the quarterback of the world, and Canada's really just like a special needs cheerleader.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird that he said that?
Yeah.
I feel like because the audience has been called that so many
Retarded that much
times,
that he thinks it would tighten it up a little bit, maybe.
or maybe he doesn't want to trigger that audience
Right.
and remind them of all the times they've been owned online.
And being
They're
called
called.
retards.
I mean, this is the Tea Party rally. I mean, do you know the teabagger story? They used to call themselves teabaggers because they didn't know what teabagging was, and then somebody explained that that's when you dip your balls in
balls
somebody's
in
mouth.
someone's mouth. Usually a man.
Yeah, and I always think that them starting that whole cuck thing was a kind of response to that, because they're like, hey, I want everybody to know we know about sex stuff too. And they went and looked up some dirty sex stuff, and they found out, oh, there's a thing that people do. Some people
Canada.
like this guy.
It would have been funny if he was like, and it would have been a lot more pandery I guess he would have had it. What if he was just like, America's like a quarterback? God damn, that is the most.
That's the worst team ever.
That is the most blah, 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 America. That's like watching some comedians talk about being in Austin now. It's fucking sickening.
Well, Tom Brady, we are not.
But then it would have been funny. It was like, Canada, we're just a retard bitch cheerleader on the side. By the way, those are called the color guard kids. Those are the retarded cheerleaders.
America, he's our man. If he can't do it, well, then we surrender, eh? Then France is like, hey, you guys, I heard you would surrender? Me too.
You always do that shit about France fucking surrendering in World War II. Fuck, if it wasn't for France, we would not have won the Revolutionary War. I mean, that's literally where the Statue of Liberty comes from. I always wonder, like, you know, I think...
Plus, like, in a way, Canada surrendered to France. Half the country is French. No? Like...
Well, he doesn't feel he's a Canadian.
Oh, that's true.
He feels that was a mistake in his birth.
I think
his whole birth was
my dad has American jizz, okay?
Okay. My dad comes red, white, and blue.
Of course, I had healthcare in Canada. I remember when I was raised there, the socialized healthcare system. You get liberals here who always, when they hear about that, like, oh my God, I hear you have great healthcare in Canada.
They do.
Yeah, that's not exactly. No, I hear you got great healthcare.
It's not as good as France.
Plan in Canada, don't get sick. That about.
I don't. That's a fucking left-wing meme talking about Republican plans for healthcare. I don't know where he stole that from, but he stole that from somebody. It might have been Bernie. It might have been some congressman down in Florida. I remember there was a congressman down in Florida who went on Congress and he says the Republican plan, healthcare plan. Then he turns off the sheet and it says die. No, it said die.
It's even more fucking gnarly. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Covers all the pre-existing conditions. And people here too, like, well, I don't understand. You guys don't pay money for your drugs. I don't understand why I have to pay so much money for my drugs. Right, because drugs don't cost money to make. No, they come from a magical land of chocolate rivers and midgets on tricycles.
No, they come from my tax dollars, you fucking moron. Well, my tax dollars are spent to develop those fucking drugs, and then I get screwed on the back end by having to pay more. You dumb fucking moron.
Plus, like, without insurance, one of my prescriptions would be like $600 a month.
That's fucking insane.
It doesn't cost that much.
Yeah, there's no fucking way that costs that much.
Probably like a fucking...
That's a hell of a markup.
Like a 3,000% markup. Like, I'm serious. There's no way. Like, it's because with my insurance, that is less than $150 a month. It's $8.
And by the way, this is the problem with doing politics and comedy, especially. You gotta make sure that you're right, first of all, because then we're not even talking about comedy. We're talking about how fucking wrong the guy is about everything he says. This is like Hannah Gadsby. He's like Hannah Gadsby. It's fucking lame. God damn it. Let me tell you two things. He stole from Opie and Anthony, by the way. Opie and Anthony used to, whenever somebody would tell some tragic story, but whenever they had to tell some tragic story, they used to play a laugh track over whatever story they were telling, whatever horrendous story they were telling.
Yeah.
He took the part from Nanette where she was talking about her trauma.
Yeah.
And he played a laugh track over it. And he stole that from fucking Opie and Anthony. It's probably the only funniest thing he ever did. But when I watched your special, I thought, I wonder if anybody did that. And I went on YouTube and I typed in Nanette with laugh track, and Steven Crowder popped up.
I know somebody that also did that. The editors of that special, because they had to add some laughs somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not here to be funny, Car.
Car? That's a dog.
I'm artistic.
That is a dog.
But that's artistic with the Italian accent. Spin recycled trash into golden yarn and insulin shots.
Yeah. That is so damn cut.
Here's the way I look at it. If Richard Simmons can make hundreds of millions of dollars from Dance Your Pants Off Volume 4...
I feel like if I was watching this video with somebody like Dylan Burns, I would have to pause this to explain who these people are constantly. He's doing Dennis Miller style references, and he's 22 in this fucking video.
He's talking about the dude with the afro that did aerobics, right?
Yes.
That guy a millionaire?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I guess he probably had like
Fuck yeah.
a bunch of those videos.
My mom had a bunch of those videos.
Well, I mean, just
dude,
like
those were sellers. Fucking
yeah.
sweating to the oldies.
Like, do
Holy
you think?
shit.
No, he was probably bigger than Tybo. It definitely lasted longer.
Jane Fonda did the first one, and then straight to videos, and those straight to video things, and the aerobics market, and then Richard Simmons was like the next one, big one. And he
Growing
was
up,
huge.
if like you put a picture of him,
Then he lost weight.
Him and Billy Crystal next to each other, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I used to get them mixed up for some reason, like
Billy Crystal and who?
Richard Simmons. Like whenever I was young, like I would think they were the same person.
Eddie Murphy used to do Richard Simmons, little Richard Simmons.
That's pretty funny.
He used to look like Richard Simmons, and he would be like, "Good golly, Miss Molly."
All right, we gotta hear this closing line.
The guy who gave us the polio vaccine deserves some loose change. Thank you, everybody.
That's not how pharmaceutical companies work.
And God bless Teton Midwest.
God bless
God bless America.